Holy shit, Connor Stallions, they need you bad, bro. Michigan is getting put to sleep, laid to rest by Texas, 24-3 here, getting ready to go to the half. Look, Michigan is finding out what the rest of the college football world already knows. It's really hard to play offense and defense when you don't know what play the other team is running. And Michigan's finding that out now, as they do not have Connor Stallions and have not had Connor Stallions for the entirety of the offseason and now heading into the season. Connor Stallions is a head coach, though. Unbelievable. A head coach of a high school somewhere in some place that nobody cares about, I guess. I don't know. And he had his first game last night as head coach. And guess what? He lost like 70-0 or something. So anyway, he's getting his. Michigan is getting theirs. They're getting absolutely dominated by the SEC. Did I say the SEC? I meant Texas. They're getting absolutely dominated by Texas. 24-3. They're just embarrassing. Texas hasn't punted. The only possession Texas didn't score on was the first possession of the game. Texas goes all the way down the field. They actually scored a touchdown. They took it off the board for a phantom holding call. Okay, whatever. And then Texas ends up having to settle for a chip shot field goal, which they missed. Every other possession, Texas has gone right down the field and scored, and then they did kick one field goal, 24-3. They're all over Michigan here at halftime. And this thing could get ugly in the second half, because the thing about Michigan is their strengths really rely on the game being close. Lines of scrimmage, running game, and being able to stop the run. They don't have, Orgy and Warren are horrific quarterbacks. They don't have the ability to cut that. So this game is over. Like, there's not even a Michigan fan watching, I don't think, that thinks Michigan come back and win this game. You can't throw the ball to save your life. So this game's over. So congratulations, Michigan. It was fun while it lasted, wasn't it? But anyway, we'll see you on down the road. There's some great games on. How about Arkansas and Oklahoma State? Been watching that one over here. Georgia Tech and Syracuse over there. Arkansas all over Oklahoma State. I liked Oklahoma State heading into this season, so I don't know. Is Arkansas better than we thought they were? Is Oklahoma State not as good as we thought they were? Is it a combination of the two? I think Arkansas is probably a little better than we thought. That quarterback's really, really good. It's also true that Oklahoma State's defense is terrible. It was a problem last year. It looked like a problem last week, and it's definitely a problem here. But they're losing at home to Arkansas, which, let's be real, even if Arkansas slightly improved, they're like the 12th best team in the SEC, man. And Oklahoma State's one of the favorites to win the Big 12. I don't know, man. It's hard to make it make sense if you can. Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's losing on the road to the Fruit. Unbelievable matchup here. The Nerds versus the Fruit in Syracuse. Tech, of course, ranked for the first time in recent memory. And they promptly go out and are losing 21-14 at halftime to Syracuse. This is a great game, though. All three of the games I'm watching, Texas, Michigan, Oak State, Arkansas, Georgia Tech, Syracuse, they're all good games, except the Texas-Michigan game. Michigan's getting blown out. It's going to get worse in the second half. Penn State, can I see you front and center? Now, I appreciate you proving me right early in this game, okay? But it's no longer early in this game. It's halftime now when you're losing to Bowling Green. If you watched my video yesterday about how many ranked teams would lose today, I said, well, Penn State ain't going to lose, but this is a classic hangover spot here. I could see them starting a little slow. You know, they played a big road game last week against West Virginia. They won. Now you got to come back home. Early kickoff, noon, against a group of 5 team that nobody cares about. Nobody will be watching. I could see Penn State starting out a little slow, and they did. I didn't think they'd be losing at halftime. Bowling Green 24, Penn State 20. Your score at halftime. Boy, they better get it together, because if Michigan is terrible. They only have to play Ohio State. I mean, they play Southern Cal too, but like, if Penn State dribbles down their own leg this season with what they had coming back from last year and what they added through the portal and the way their schedule sets up and the way the rest of the Big Ten is, if they can't get to 10-2 in the playoffs this year, boy, it's hard to figure a way that they ever will, ain't it? Yeah, it is. Tulane is beating Kansas State. Does the Big 12 even exist at this point? God almighty. Tulane 20-10, almost halftime. They're up on Kansas State. Already talked about Syracuse and Georgia Tech. Well, that's amazing and unbelievable. Also in 2, both at the same time. Minnesota up over Rhode Island. I forgot Rhode Island existed. And I definitely forgot they had a football team. Rutgers up 21-3 over Akron. Same Akron that Ohio State beat last week. Cincinnati 17-6 over Pitt. UConn 56-7 over Merrimack. Merrimack. That sounds like an accounting firm. I don't know what that is. Memphis up 21-7 over Troy at halftime. Who does Memphis play next week? I can't remember. Some people think Memphis might be making the playoffs out of the group of 5, and they play somebody next week. I can't remember who it is. Let me know in the comments who Memphis plays next week. I think it's some really good team, but I can't remember who it is. Just can't remember. Shout out Florida State, man. Texas A&M 28-0 over McNeese. So there you go, your halftime report. Surprises at halftime. I'm surprised Arkansas is up this big over Oklahoma State. I'm not surprised Penn State started out slow. I am surprised they're losing 24-20 at halftime. Honestly, I'm not surprised Texas and Michigan. I took Texas -7. I didn't think it would be particularly close. I like it win by a couple of scores. It looks like at this point they might win by 4 or 5 scores, but hard to imagine Michigan finding a way to come back in this one because they just don't have the offense to do it. And more importantly, they don't have the quarterback to do it. And most importantly of all, they don't have Connor fucking Stallions. And look, it's hard to play football when you don't know what play the other team is running. I mean, look at this. Matthew McConaughey again. You're right, Russell. I'm going to drive my Buick. All right, see y'all later.